So you think you know what it's like to be a Skywalker? Rey. What? What do you mean? Do you doubt your grandfather's existence? Darth Vader was a menace to all. Dig deeper. Dig deeper. Ah! Boom! Ching! Side! He was a great man of many talents. And to a certain point of view, he was a son. He was a traitor. No, he was a son. He was, of course, my son in spirit. But there's more to the story. During the time we fought together in the Clone Wars, there was more influence. And sometimes he was granted to make the master. Of course, being a Jedi Knight, you're bound to the code of honor and chivalry. Much like your own. Anakin! Yet when I first saw him, I was enamored with the Force. The thought that my own son from Geogne would be born. Perhaps it never happened. Let it shimmy. Of course, that happened during the time my brother-in-laws lived in the near area. During that time, there were too many lost boys living, and she gave birth to what she couldn't explain. Of course, he always promised to free the slaves, which he did. Long before that, the great Jedi Knight, known as the greatest of them all, Geogne, yes, was a great man, many influences, the greatest pilot in the fleet of the Old Republic. He killed he killed Karat. Yet he killed Karat, indeed. It was a good reason, though. As for transformation to become Darth Vader, there were too many Sith and too many conspiracies, as David Usha would refer to, or the Skywalker. During this time, Geogne had died. He had contacted on many planets, hunting down many Jedi. During this time, he was always on the run. In his old age, he defeated many enemies and became quite subtle. That's why we judged him. Of course, when he met Jeriel, everything became substantial. Jeriel was such a nice foe on behalf sometimes. The Rodian Griff. Of course, as a family, they stayed close to each other, even as far as Hellbent. What do you mean Hellbent? Your great-grandmother, Jeriel, could also sense Force sensitivity, even if it took her far from her own children. You see, Valkyrian, the first child that was ever born, disappeared into the mist of the time of Revan, becoming the immortal Emperor, which came from my father's side. Valkyrian was seduced by the righteousness of God, and Arcanan killed him. With that in mind, the word Thexian means Kenobi one. Of course, that wasn't instilled. Anakin's great-grandfather came from that line, through Geogne. Left with the repurchasement, he felt betrayed, and certainly would let the Republic into the forces. According this time, Valkyrian remembered who he was. Valkyrian hated Sith, and became such a wise leader. Arcanan became brave enough. Anakin's father, of course, the one I'm talking and who had known as flesh, manifested through Arcanan. But due to all the humilities and the same machines, only one thing laid the same. He created the order from osteota, a new order that caused chaos, thus bringing the balance into full. During that time, he met Luke, somewhat like a father and son. Before that, I need to explain. When he took off the mask, he was revealing that there was another to come, himself. That's why he left you. During that time, there could be a theory that, in relativity reasons, much like gin, he enjoyed. During this time, Anakin grew up, but he felt the darkness loom. Me and Elby, even as friends, even as good old Obi-Wan or General Kenobi, I kept an eye on him. Friends to the end more than Qui-Gon Jinn. Of course, Anakin was seduced by Supreme Leader Snoke and all other Darths. Anakin, with his first attack, killed any Jedi, including Kairat, who, in a fit of rage, him and his children and every Tusken Raider in the village, which Kairat was unaware of, was slaughtered. However, Anakin felt remorse and kept training and kept urging his sword, much like Zenkarik killed others. There have always been chosen ones, youngling, whether it was Shak Ti acting on behalf, like Andor's son Rider. Yet the battles have been fierce. Led up to the Tython Wars before that, there have always been some, the chosen ones, that have acted rashly. Anakin was known on this, much like David Usha the First, which Andor then later had Nomi, and Nomi herself had a child through Kulodroma. Many years later, when Vader was fighting, there had always been one that would keep a light snuffed out. Yet, even if he served him, would become the one against even his own son. What do you mean? Starkiller, Galen Merrick, became the greatest of all to defeat Darth Vader, leaving his son in the hands of the Bridgers, which Darth Vader could see light in dark. No! At the death of Ezra's friend Kanan, Darth Vader began to realize later, much similar to his own, that his son was much like him, that both were Empire hands. Anakin reformed his ways and created the Triumvirate, many of them Jedi Knights. But before that we explain that, Pierce Olin fought Vader on a numerous subjects. Why are you going backwards? To Sorensen's point of view, Vader destroyed everybody. But he had a greater destiny before creating the Sith, or in becoming Darth Vader. But many had tried to block it. No, get away with this, Anakin! Of course, his illusions are true. True events that have been altered by Sith alchemy. But during that time, things began to change. His anger took the best of him. His political views decided the Chancellor being threatened to his wife made him even destroy his own sons. Who? Jinn? Yes, Jinn. But Anakin would know better. Of course, in such a rage, he became enraged.